Are you serious? I'm having twins?
No, I'm having them.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
I'm very serious, Zach. I'm not kidding.
Like for real?
Yes.
There's two babies in it.
Hi guys, thank you so much for coming back, or hello if you're here for the first time. It is your favorite mystic, TheSirenSayz. Welcome back to my commentary channel where I speak about movie, TV, and soon to come books. Everything that I like, dislike, and the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything all throughout and in between. Those frames of media. Okay, so let's just get into it really quickly with the disclaimers as usual. Tyler Perry, I don't know what you're doing anymore. Yes, I have a video on Mia Culpa coming out. Wait on it. Also, we're not talking about the actual people who are acting, KJ, Ebony. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the characters. Any and all passion or lack thereof at this point. It's just about the show. Once this episode is done and we turn off our electronics, we don't care no more. Okay, we really don't be caring no more. This episode was I've gotten used to the nonsense to a certain degree, so there are things that I saw that usually would have upset me. Now I just don't care. And things that are just kind of like, alright. So, like you guys know, I'm going to go in order of whatever I remember and whatever I feel to talk about at the time. So let's just talk about what I saw at the end. So, what I see there at the end is Daniela trying to be friendly with the children. Bad sign, mamas. Bad sign. What you go there to do, you go there, you apologize for how they saw you, right? You tell them that you're not trying to replace their parent, because that's what people say in TV shows, even though you don't say that in real life. But you say that just for TV fodder. Then you kind of sort of let them know that they can come to you, but you're not their friend. Because they're about to swindle you, and I have no sympathy. Number one, you're not good with kids, which is fine. But as somebody who kind of like you don't want no kids, you kind of have to know about them to a certain degree. You know, to avoid them. Ma'am, I worked at a school for a while, so I know a lot about kids. So yeah, no kids for me either. But yeah, then you're about to get swindled. That is all your business, though. I have no problem with that. To continue what we saw at the end there, because, you know, we don't need to talk about that too much. Something's also going on with Karen, because there's always something going on with Karen. That woman cannot rest. Whether somebody's getting unalived with a Glock at her house, whether she can't trust Aaron because perhaps he's a part of a gang. There's always something. Boo-hoo for Karen. It is what it is. All right. We'll see what's happening next time. And I will talk about what's going on with Karen in a little bit later. Okay. Penelope, the dummy. What is wrong with y'all giving people consistent character arc? Right? Like, okay, this is who the character is described to be in the description. Why can't you keep that? Instead, you continue to tell us this person is smart, this person is cunning, and we don't get to see that until you want to like make them look powerful in like some show of girl boss energy. Penelope was characterized as smarter than this. I feel like I was justified in being upset with her staying with Gary after everything that happened, right? But then you guys were like, oh, I mean, she stayed, but as soon as she saw just one more red flag, then she decided to, you know, go and investigate more. Okay, then why is she coming to the man who she now knows is possibly an unaliver, asking him about his possible first human unalived? He probably unalived an animal first, you know, we're talking about psychos here. But you're coming to him being like, If you want to be with me, you gotta prove your worth. I'm so confused. I'm so confused, Penelope. I'm so confused, my dear. Like, common sense is a virtue, and I'm so sick and tired of these girls not having any common sense. It's sickening. And I don't know how to help. I don't know how to help you at all. So, the last part of what's going to be coming up in the next episode, or the part that I'll speak about last, is Air Jordan. How are you doing, Jordan? And Andy, and Andy's house is being filmed because, they're digging into this man's life because he just had allegations thrust against him. Doesn't matter that they're being dropped or that the girl may disappear. Who cares? Now they're going to focus on him because it's like, wow, this guy is a presidential candidate. That's number one reason why they're going to focus on him. And number two, he had allegations against him. This guy is the drama, and media loves the drama. So, Andy, what, Andy? Huh? You know what? I'm about to air up my grievances and my upsetness, and it's been hiding under the surface because I felt like I haven't had a good reason to talk about it, so I didn't bring it up. But who cares? If you were with Robin, none of this would be happening in the public eye. Now, I'm not going to say that she wouldn't have had no more problems with Gary and she wouldn't have any more work issues. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not being delusional. Right? But she's getting this newfound trauma of being like, oh my God, why is everything so public? My job. If you would have stayed with Robin, you would have got the first class treatment, the great bed treatment, and the money. You would have gotten all that if you stayed with Robin, but no. He called it like he saw it, and that hurt my feelings. We're talking about holding yourself accountable. The term he used may not have been the right term, and so he apologized, right? But it definitely made you stop. So by the time you saw Jordan, you had switched your life around. Because when Robin said what he said to you, it hit you in the throat. It hit you in the throat. And you had to think to yourself, oh my God, the behavior, even though it's not to that level, can seem that way because I'm being messy at work. And too much of my personal life is being incorporated in work. I'm gonna leave it alone for now. Let's just get into what I saw, what I didn't see. Let's talk about Maurice and Grayson. I'm gonna say this again for everybody in the back who decides to give people like Zach pass. Zach is the only one with full character development, and Maurice is the only one deciding to make changes that make sense for everything that just happened to him. This is not me saying that the girls have not made any strides, but I'm not holding my breath that it's gonna mean anything within the next 6 episodes. Let's give them 6. Because I'm already seeing people are starting to make videos about how Danny is... She has been changed for good. Relax. She is going to therapy and looking inward because she wants to keep this man. I'm not going to sit down and be impressed by that. And also, she got the dream man of her dreams, so she acting right. I told y'all this a long time ago. This has nothing to do with her changing for the better. This just has to do with her getting what she wants. And sometimes people get what they want. They either become bratty or they become better. And I guess for y'all, because I don't care about Danny like that no more, Danny has become better. But to get into Maurice and Gary, Maurice and Grayson, they had a civil conversation, right? Grayson is being a hypocrite, but he was able to say, look, I know I'm a hypocrite because this is how I met you, but I didn't know it was this serious. Like, you made your bread and butter doing this. I didn't realize, like, I really like you and I'm getting territorial, blah, blah, blah. And because Maurice likes Grayson, right? They had a blow up about it initially, but once they calmed down and came back together and Grayson decided to bring that to the table again, Maurice was able to be level-headed and be like, well, I saved up enough funds to be able to give myself a hiatus so I can look for better morale work. right? A more long-term sustaining job. Why does Maurice all of a sudden have just a little bit more sense than all the girls? Can we have that discussion? It's sickening to me, right? It's not to say that his relationship with Grayson is perfect. It's not like I said, Grayson's being a hypocrite. You know, it's not like anybody's trying to. And here's the thing, right? There's angles that Grayson could have come from to make his hypocritical argument seem valid, but he didn't do that. Let me help you out, Grayson. I liked you and I got to meet you. What if somebody else like you and you get stalkers and you get home invasions and, I heard about the bank. What if you get a Q 2.0? Like, you had ammunition to use there, Grayson, and you just didn't. Or the writers didn't think there was a better way for Grayson to come across aside from just showing off the full hypocrisy. Like, we could have talked about, even if he brought up a better reasoning, like stalkers and everything, that he's still being a hypocrite. But, it would have been more of a side discussion instead of like totally obvious and in your face, in my personal opinion. I'm just saying. But acquiring that particular argument, I just thought it was super interesting how level-headed the discussion was and how they worked it out to a certain degree. It's not perfect, but they worked it out. It was so normal and just okay. Why don't the rest of the girls have that? I don't feel like they've ever worked out anything with any of these men, even the men that I prefer them with, in a way that was this satisfactory. In a way that felt like it would last the way I feel like this might actually last. I'm sickened by you, TP. Sickened. Oh my God. Let's get into Zach immediately because I'm about to call out all the hypocrisy immediately. As this episode continues, y'all are not going to play with me no more. We're not going to play. So let's get into Zach and Fatima and Karen just expeditiously. So, Karen gets the news that she got Confessions Part 2. Give me Part 2, my confessions. So she got 2 on the way. Look. Zach, why are you so excited? Now hold on. Before y'all say, shouldn't he be happy? I'm not saying why is he happy. He has always been somewhat okay with the baby thing. Okay? He's never like fully thrown her to the side or denied the kids. He's never done that. But for him to be happy, like Karen is his girlfriend, and they've been trying to get pregnant for 10 years, and now they're getting twins. That is how happy Zach is. Stop playing with me, y'all. Stop playing with me. How long are you guys gonna baby him? I see the babying on Twitter. I see the babying on Tumblr. I see the babying in comment sections on YouTube. Sometimes it's slight, like where you guys think you're being slick by trying to be sensible, and other times it's just complete delulu is a salulu with Zach. I need y'all to stop it. He is not perfect. He's not, and I'm so sick and tired of it. I will give Zach his 10s. He's the only person in this show with grounded, long-lasting, and clearly visible character development. Now, what do I mean by that? So I talk about it all the time, and the video I said that Zach is going to be mainly a Zach video, but I talk about everybody else in it. That video is coming out soon, but I've heard people say in my comments 1,000 times, is that supposed to change my mind or something? That in Zatima, you guys get even more backstory into Zach, even more Zach lore. If I am saying that he's the only one up to this point, and I know people are saying people like Danny's getting character development, I don't see that as character development. I see that as a PSA for other things. But up until season 7, because I guess the girls are changing to a certain degree in season 7. Up until season 7, for the last 6 years, Zach is the only one with credible, long-lasting, sustainable character development. He's the only one with a full arc that doesn't backtrack. This show is not even about him. And he's the only one. He's the only one with character development. And the show ain't even about him. Y'all just loved him when him and Karen were arguing, and all of a sudden Tyler Perry gave him everything, including all of the story beats that make any sense. Now I'm hearing about his mom and Fatima and all of his trauma, and it's because of his brother that he got arrested the first time, and I don't care. Where's the character development for all the other women? Let's leave that alone then, fine. Why are you excited for twins? Why isn't Fatima ever in the front of your mind unless you're upset that maybe she mad at you for something? The only time he's ever thinking about Fatima is when he's trying to placate her when it comes to Karen, or when he thinks she upset. You can never see the obvious signs of something frazzling her before then. She heard about the twins, she shut down immediately. You're like, you okay? You okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. Okay, cool. Kisses? Nigga? Zach is not the worst character in this show, okay? Don't get me wrong. But I'm sick and tired of y'all placating him while he keep doing nonsense on my screen, and then the writers keep justifying his nonsense by giving him pretty storylines. Now, what I mean by pretty storylines, all of his issues right now have to do with babies, right? And he is being categorized as the angel because he's the one taking care of all of the babies. And he wants to take care of all the babies. And he wants to take care of both of the twins. Even though, in my personal opinion, if Tyler Perry wants to be really dramatic, one twin is his and one is Aaron's. But we're not going to get into that. That's just my theory. That's just a theory. But, yeah, who cares about what Fatima wants? Who cares? And you guys know my sympathy for Fatima has been dwindling because I've been telling her to leave for a long time and she refuses. Girl, he might have twins with this woman. This woman that flip-flops on whether or not she wants to respect you or not. And like I've said before, I really do wish that Karen got to hear how Zach used to talk about her and how you used to defend her. She really should be a lot nicer to you more consistently. Fatima, I'm with you there. But you are deciding to stay in this messy situation with Zach when you do not have to. Who cares at this point if you want to consider your feelings or not? You're the one staying in this, so you're going to get what you get. Let's hope. If you talk to him, he listens to you for real. Let's hope that it's long-lasting and sustainable. Let's hope. Am I supposed to feel sorry for you? This man might have 3 mandingos run up and down the house. One with special needs and twins. And because he's pretending to be old-fashioned just because he ran into some money, he gonna expect you to help him with that a lot, Fatima. I know people like want to jump over the whole, we should cook organic, and Fatima, you go cook while I sit here and do nothing but be happy about all the baby stuff. And I love how y'all hopped and skipped over that really quickly. Cause hey, at least he's a black dad who still wants to be there. I have a black dad who's been around, and that doesn't mean I'm delusional. My dad and my mom are married and together, but I'm not delusional about our community. And I'm not delusional about how some fathers treat their wives even if they stay. Come on now, guys. We're really gonna come on, Tyler Perry. No one's accused you of, doing the right thing. Or being realistic in a way that'll actually help us. Oh my God. I really just wanted to say, though, that even though I don't necessarily feel sorry for Fatima, I understand why she's, exasperated. I did hear the argument, though, that even though she has a point in this time, let's not forget how she used to do the same thing to Zach, or she treated Zach some kind of way. I want y'all to understand right now that my opinion on that is that I feel like she was justified 90% of the time she ever did anything wrong to Zach. And I said what I said. I heard apparently in Fatima, she threatened to woohoo other niggas. Justified. Didn't he cheat? Oh, I'm sorry. You guys don't consider that cheating. Because, they didn't tie themselves down with labels. But let me remind you guys that if Fatima did what he did around the time that he did it, he would have been upset. And I doubt y'all would have found any justification in, but they weren't calling themselves BFGF. Okay, argument done better so. Now, I feel like Fatima has a right to be upset. This is 2 babies, and we're not going to go into that any further, but I do feel like she's dumb for still staying, so my sympathy is really lowered. However, if we're still staying on Fatima, she had a conversation with Danny, and it's like the first time she realized her and Danny are alike or had a lot in common. I've been saying this for a long time now. So I hope their friendship continues. It was cute seeing them talk. Talking about the kids. That was a really nice conversation to be had. Yeah, Zach just bulldozes with his happiness. That's all he cares about. Oh, my babies! Yay, my babies! Oh! Nothing else matters. And some of the viewers don't see it either because they're just so happy that a black man is happy to be a father and is doing everything he can to fight for his son. So we're just gonna overlook all the other red flags because Karen is moody and she's rude. Yeah. She's moody and she's rude and she talks a lot with her mouth and her mouth is vicious. And so she's the worst person ever. And she's the only one with the red flags in the situation. Him being so happy about her having twins, like they're together, that doesn't mean anything. Anyway, let's continue. Since we were talking about Danny, I guess we could get into the 4 date, the little group date. Yeah, who cares? Danny, you shouldn't be with Tony, but we all know that. But Tony is your perfect match, except there is no such thing. See, you got everything you wanted and it still came with a giant piece of luggage that you didn't really account for. Because none of these girls ever really account for who the person really is that they're seeing. So that is what it is. Sabrina, you don't even really like Rich anymore. That's what I'm seeing. I'm not even seeing the same interest in Rich that you once had. And it makes sense. Happens all the time. You like somebody, and then you realize that you're diametrically opposed on a certain topic or issue. A deep issue, not a random issue, an issue that's core. It's in the core. And when you realize that you are diametrically opposed at the core, and there's no reconciliation, there's no bridges to be built, there's no way to compromise, because I kept telling y'all, you cannot compromise on core issues. You can compromise on who cleans and who doesn't. You can compromise on whether to drive or walk. You can compromise on where you want to live, depending, but you can't compromise on religion and children and politics. You can't compromise on stuff like that. Okay. Richard, I feel sorry for you. You're trying to hold it down for the community, but something's telling me you'd probably be happier with a woman of calm colored complexion. Just the vibes he gives me. I'm being petty now, but yeah. Tony, I don't like that man. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. I've never liked him. But I do feel like he needs to realize that he doesn't know Danny yet. And he needs to take that into consideration when he pops these kids on her. I would hope that what the kids are about to do to her in the next few episodes would make her run. And then he would have to chase her and be like, why would you run? And he realizes who she really is, and then he has to decide whether or not he's really ready to stick it out with her while she tries to work stuff out. But we're not going to get anything realistic like that, because as much as Danny has changed, she's still the same. If you guys really think that Danny is completely changed, you're not paying attention. She hasn't changed. She just got what she thought she wanted. If this show was really a good show and would want to surprise me, Danny would stick it out with Tony, realize in the end that he's not even what she really wants, and then she'd just run to Iowa or wherever and fight for Preston back. But that would be too dramatic for a soap opera, I guess. It could even take a season or two for them to be together and for her to wake up and realize, oh my God, I messed up, I should be with Preston. It could even take that long, but you know, they would never do anything that interesting. See, y'all thought that these men were supposed to be the end men. And the way that these men are being written, if they are the end men, I'm bored. Because it still doesn't match. Even the actual chemistry is gone for me. It's not even like steamy to watch them make out and about to get it on. That's not even cute anymore. That's how you know it just doesn't even matter at this point. But honorable mention, Miss Marie called Gary out for every piece of his A. Okay, and I loved it. He brought up Robin for a second, and I thought, not you bringing up Robin. Is he coming back? Because, you know, Andy has masterfully found a way to never bring that man up. So I'm just trying to figure out if that means we gonna see Robin sooner or later. See or no? See or no? No? Okay. Y'all know I love Robin, and it would bring up my spirits if I saw that man again, but we probably not gonna see him for a while. Anyways, I guess that's possibly it right now. Housekeeping. Yes, I'm gonna do an Avatar video. I promised you guys one. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna do it, because that live action was interesting to say nothing and everything at all, to say the least. I will be doing a mea culpa video, but I'm gonna do a little differently. I'm gonna be comparing it to other movies that are in that genre leveling, you know, B-list, C-list. I'm gonna be doing other stuff like that. So, you know, because you already watched it, you already saw 15 different reviews. So what's gonna set mine apart? I'm gonna do a comparison. That's what's gonna set mine apart. Let me know what y'all think down below. I know I went in on Zach and the girls, but I always do. You know, I try to keep it consistent so that nobody can ever come here and say I switched up. And when I stop liking characters, you guys can literally hear the chronicling of how I stopped liking them. Right? I'm a consistent person, and I try very hard not to be a hypocrite because I hate hypocrisy. And so I will call myself out at a moment's notice. Number one thing I'm not going to do, though, I'm not going to watch Fatima. I'm not. I don't care to see why Zach is the way he is. Because what I'm getting from the Fatima people is that it just gives them more reasons to like Zach. It doesn't do anything but make Fatima look bad because of, you know, her exes or whatever that come from the show. So if it's just a bunch of Zach D-sucking and coddling, I'm not interested. Yes, I love Brian. He's gorgeous. And I like her cousin. She's cute. But I heard they don't even really last. So I don't care. And I love Preston, but I don't really care to see him on that show. Doesn't do anything for me. Anyway, please put your thoughts down below. Interested. Don't put anything about mea culpa, because the video will come out and I need y'all to talk about it there, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye, my sires. Susu.